Hello, everyone. Dad Life here. And one genre of games that I am a huge fan of are strategy games. In particular, I really like turn based strategy games. On top of that, I love the cyberpunk or sci fi theming in games. So, the game I'm talking about today pairs those two things, and it was a must play for me. This game is called Augmented Empire. From the first moment I saw the trailer and heard it was coming to the Meta Quest, I was really excited to give this one a try, and I finally did get to play through the game and wanted to share my thoughts with you. Now, real quick before I jump into my thoughts, if after my description you are interested in giving the game a try, I put a referral code down in the description below that will get you 15% off on the game and also supports the channel a little bit to help me get more games to review for you guys. So I really appreciate it if you use that code if you do want to give the game a try. Now, as far as my thoughts on the game, as I mentioned, it is a turn based strategy game. This is one that's like squad based. The basic story of the game, and I won't give any spoilers here because the story is a big part of the game. One of the big draws to the game is the well done story. So, no spoilers, but basically, it's like a sci fi or cyberpunk heist, right? So, you are recruiting people to join your team to break in somewhere and steal something. And that's pretty much as far as I will go of the story, other than saying that it is a great story. Well, maybe not a great story, it's a good story. But the voice acting in this game is great. Every character in this game is voice acted, and it is so well done. Very well done. The story isn't nothing earth shattering. I'll be clear about that. It's nothing like mind blowing with the actual story. It's a good story, but that's it. The voice acting though is excellent. All the characters are portrayed very well, and yeah, that really blew me away. It was, I would say, out of every game I've played on the MetaQuest, the voice acting in this game was the best. So definitely give that aspect of the game a thumbs up. Now, as far as actual gameplay, typically it's a, like I said, it's a turn-based strategy game. You have a certain level you're attacking, and you have to kind of clear it of the bad guys. I would say on average you have 3 characters in your squadron that you can use, and you're maneuvering around using their special abilities, trying to take out the bad guys. It has a lot of in-depth customization you can do. One, as you go through the game, you're going to recruit new people that you will then be able to swap in and out on your squad, which gives it a lot of variety because every character is unique, has different strengths, different weaknesses. And then also, each individual character can be further customized by using augments. Again, this is a cyberpunk sci fi game, and so the characters can have like mechanical augments added to them to give them different abilities. There's also different items you can equip on to people, like grenades or traps or different things like that that you can use to take out the bad guys and complete your objective. So tons of depth there of customizing it out to where you could play the game multiple times and really have a different experience each time on some level because you customize the characters differently or you use different uh, characters on each level. So I really liked that aspect of the game. I also really enjoyed that the game works great in mixed reality. I love that. I played through the entire game in mixed reality. It was really nice being able to play it on the couch with my family. So I'm able to play this, game while still being able to look over at my wife and kids and chat with them while playing. It was just really nice, relaxing experience to play the game that way. So I give it real kudos for making the mixed reality work really well. It also supports hand tracking, which I'm normally not a huge hand tracking fan in games, but I did use it quite a bit in this game, and it worked well. I did occasionally hit the wrong button just because it didn't track my finger just right, and that was a little frustrating, but overall, I would say it worked really well, and I enjoyed the hand tracking. Now, as far as the negatives on the game, there weren't many. I'll be honest. I really enjoyed my time playing it. Um, but if I were to pinpoint, there were two negatives. One is there was quite a bit of like filler in the game. So like you would be given a mission, you have to go and you're trying to recruit this new person onto your team, and typically that person, in order for them to join your team, would give you some kind of task of going to beat some bad guys on their behalf before they would join you. And in order to get to the objective, the game kind of forced you just to kind of navigate your person through these different levels where you're not really doing anything other than just moving your character to get on a subway train to go to this other location. It felt kind of like, why am I doing this and it not just taking me right to my next spot? Um, so that was just my own personal feeling. Some people might enjoy that. I will say the worlds, I forgot to mention this. The game looks beautiful. The worlds are really well done. There's tons of detail in everything. So it wasn't an unpleasant experience to get to walk through and see these worlds, but you're kind of doing the same thing over and over with that in between levels. And it just felt like that was something that could have kind of been streamlined a little bit. But again, it was a beautiful world, and I really liked that cyberpunk city they kind of created. So really enjoyed that. But keep that in mind. There's a little bit of filler of just kind of, I'm going to click through and just walk through this map. Just got to go through these subway train to get to the next spot. So not a big deal, but a minor negative there. The second negative was the bigger negative for me, and it was kind of the difficulty level of the game. So as I mentioned, there's tons and tons of depth to this game of how you can customize your characters and your team. But I never really got to dive super deep into that because I didn't feel the need to, because I kind of breezed through the game for the most part. And that's by no means me bragging or thinking I'm some kind of strategy game savant. No. I played a lot of strategy games. I am a veteran of strategy games. However, tons of strategy games kick my butt and I struggle with them. This was not one. This was one that I did lose a few times throughout the process, but I never felt like I was really having to burn a lot of brain cells to come up with solutions to these levels. It was pretty straightforward, which was disappointing because the game had so much depth in how you could strategize and build out your team, but it didn't challenge me enough to where I really felt like I had to give that a lot of thought. So that was a disappointment. With that said, I still really enjoyed the game because that story grabbed me, because the world was engaging and really cool to interact with, and because that voice acting was so good that I still enjoyed the game. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. I would say it is a recommendation for me, especially at the price point. It's not a super expensive game, especially if you use that 15% code that I have in the description. Saves you a little extra money there as well. But just keep aware that it's not going to be the most challenging game in the world. At least it wasn't for me. Maybe if you're brand new to strategy games, turn-based strategy games, it'll be a little bit more of a challenge for you. But regardless, I think it's worth experiencing and playing, and I hope to see more games like this on the MetaQuest in the future. So that's my thoughts on Augmented Empire. I hope it helps you make a decision for if this is the right game for you. Please like this video, drop your comments below if you've played Augmented Empire or if you plan to, and of course subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more VR content in the future. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and thank you for watching. Take care.